What's up guys, this is Kurztpel, and today we finally get the release date for Kurztpel and some of the common questions that have been asked by players to developers of Kurztpel and see how they actually respond to that question. Before we jump in, I'd like to give a shout out to FireZero for providing all the information regarding Kurztpel, and he's the only one that's been keeping track on my behalf. Without him, none of this would actually happen at all, so I'd like to give him a big shout out to him, and let's get straight into it. So the actual release date for Kurztpel is actually going to be in April 30th for the North American and South American server, early June for the European server, and early July for the Asia and Oceanic servers, as mentioned by Ode Knows from the Discord server. And he actually answers some common questions that's been asked towards him, such as if the game is free to play, and he actually answered that would be the case. And also another question is which language would be dubbed for the game. For a time being, it will be in Korean and English. Sometime around March, Zach from the Discord server actually asked the community if they were willing to pay for a Japanese voiceover pack, and there were options for the community to choose from if they're willing to either pay for it or refuse it, or depending on the price, or even other too, and they actually can suggest in the specific poll discussion. And this was actually taken in time when the FireZero was in the server, and actually brought some concern regarding if this will actually be a thing when the game releases. Probably the reason why they want to charge for this voiceover pack is because the fact that most of the voice actors in Japan Japanese voice actors actually are the ones that gets paid most when it comes to anime production, and sometimes getting a hold on them might be a little bit troubling due to the fact that either they might charge a certain rate or their schedules actually be too populated with the current season of animes and also future animes are actually in production at the minute. So by having this option as a purchase, they can go after some of the well-known voice actors. They can cover specific NPC voices or even the customized character voices. But at the same time, Kurztpel actually will be hosted in Japan, and sometimes Japanese game publishers might actually get a hold of the game just to have publishing rights in behalf of KOG. And then they can actually decide which character gets to voice who by specific voice actors and such. And the possible loop around is the fact that you can actually go to the Japanese server and actually take some of the voice files they have in their game files and distribute to those players that actually do want Japanese voices over the Korean or the English voice that's been provided by KOG themselves. Let me know in the comments down below if you actually are interested in using Japanese voices, either by paying or actually getting the files from the Japanese website themselves. Since the game is actually going to be free to play, some of those might actually be concerned the fact that Kurztpel might actually follow the same structure as an Elsword with the pay to win mechanic, but a very long time ago before the production of Kurztpel, the director of the game assures the fact that there won't be a pay-to-win mechanic that we have in Elsword, and they'll probably try to implement something else that actually keeps it fair for all players. But the only thing is though, they actually have to find a way to generate money since this game is actually be free to play. The most obvious way to make income is the fact that they can actually make exclusive costumes that can actually mask over your equipment that we have in Elsword, but the structure is obviously going to concern some players just in case if the looks actually look something similar to an ice burner and might actually also have significant stat boosts, almost similar to the way for ice burners that we see in Elsword, and that's sort of more like a pay-to-win mechanic that normal costumes will actually be overshadowed by the ice burner stats and even looks too. And as for Kurztpel, however, we have yet to see actual costume systems been implemented in the game yet, so once it releases, then we can actually decide if this mechanic actually works for the game or not. And that wraps up for the video today. If you actually want to discuss regarding Kurztpel, you can always drop down a comment down below, or even join the Discord server too in the description, just in case you actually want to jump into the discussion. For the rest of the video, I actually will keep on rolling all the gameplay videos I've been recorded during the closed beta testing phases, and hopefully you enjoyed that recording. And this is Kurztpel, and I'll be signing out of this video.